Hi everybody, once again welcome to PRTC's Community Calendar, and today we're out at the tennis courts with my former co-host, and really just good to see you again, Michelle.
Good to see you.
And I understand you're now, well, first off, obviously we're at tennis courts, and it's at the Forrest Hills tennis courts, which are a lot nicer than whenever I used to play here years and years and years ago. They really fixed it up nice. And speaking of fixing things up, I understand you plan on well, basically starting a big tennis league. And tell us a little bit more about it.
So Walterboro Tennis Association was been around the community for a long time, but after COVID, league play kind of fell off around here, and unfortunately, some of the folks that were managing it at the time just didn't want to pick it back up. And I had been talking with some of the former tennis leaders of the community, William Sneed, Lynn Murdoch, the treasurer, for several years about picking it back up. And it's just a matter of me getting to a point where I felt like I could manage it.
Right.
And so last year I decided I was ready, and I knew that I could, get the association back up in working order. But you were talking about these courts. I've played on these courts since I was a child, and even as an adult, there's a thriving tennis community here. I played from 2010 to 2016 with a group of ladies every night. We traveled to Charleston, we traveled to St. George, we traveled to Somerville, Legend Oaks, and it was really bustling over here. And, adults and children were getting lessons, and there were several pros that were teaching private lessons. So I have a lot of fond memories of a thriving tennis community here. And so it's time to bring that back.
Well, years ago, I actually lived literally right across the road from these tennis courts. But of course, they were nice then for what it was. But I mean, they have really done a wonderful job. Adding on, fixing up. I mean, they look brand new out here. And I think they did the remodel in 2024.
Yes. Well, the city of Walterboro owns this facility, and they do a fabulous job with all of their parks. They added a viewing platform and a covered area with picnic tables several years back. And then more recently in 2024, we're part of the Low Country Tennis Association. They resurfaced the courts. And then actually the Walterboro Tennis Association, the former association, as its last gift, gave money for these covered awnings with benches for each court. And it just happened to be that they closed their bank account in 2025, and that was when I felt like I was ready to pick it back up. But it all worked seamlessly, and I was really well supported by the previous leadership, and they were helpful in guiding me and how to get everything set back up and running again.
Michelle, before you got on camera, you and I were talking about, obviously tennis is something you really almost have to work up to, and especially if you start at a young age, you're going to get better and better and better the more you do it. And so this will be a way for families to get together and, bring those little ones out here. And I understand, explain the whole red ball concept to me and to anybody that's not familiar with it about the learning curve and how we can try and get people more involved in playing tennis.
Well, I will say that the great thing about tennis, and we're experiencing it right now, is you don't need to join a team. It's a lifelong sport that all you need is another person to play with, or even you can play by yourself. There's different ways with a backboard or other apparatuses, but it's something that you can continue to do with these free courts available. Anytime the weather's nice, and just enjoy the sport. And the sport is something that you can share with the whole family, but it is something that you can't just play full court tennis on day one. It's a difficult sport. So the United States Tennis Association recently came up with a whole curriculum to kind of break it down. And it's broken down by age levels and skill levels and colors. This is a red ball, and it's the first ball that you introduce at around age 5.
And it's a little larger and a little less compressed, correct?
Right. Yes. So you have more control over your shots, and it helps to the ball doesn't go as far.
Right.
So, you know,
It won't be
it's
as
easier to
fast,
control.
Won't be as fast,
Right.
won't go as far, a little larger to hit. So it's a good learning tool, basically.
Right.
If you're just starting out, play the red ball. And I understand there's multiple levels of colored balls, correct?
Correct. And I, although myself and 4 of my colleagues, I shouldn't say colleagues, or players, went and got developmental training from the USTA national coaches in November of 25. I'm not well versed on exactly what ages each ball is introduced, but you'll start off with red ball, and then probably around 3rd grade or so, you could probably go up to orange ball.
Right.
And then from there you go to green ball, and then yellow ball, which is the full compression, tiny little ball that
Right.
you know, you have to break out of a can.
Right, exactly.
These have no air compression on them.
Gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
they even have foam balls that you can introduce in the schools.
Really?
Yes, and that's something else I want to talk about, because we're a nonprofit and we're affiliated with the USTA. There's national, then there's Southern that has an office in Atlanta, and then there's USTA South Carolina in Columbia. And the Columbia office has been really helpful, and they organize about 17 community tennis associations across the state. And they give us resources, they give us training, workshops, and funding. And also access to programs like the Tennis in Schools initiative, which any physical education elementary teacher can apply with our co-signing or co-sponsorship,
Right.
for a free equipment package.
Free equipment package?
Right.
Really? Now, what grade level or what age is that for?
It's for all elementary, which is K-5 through 5th.
And basically, the teacher that wants to get involved
Right.
applies for that.
Right.
And then you guys basically give it for free.
Right. We with a sponsoring community tennis association, which would be Walterboro Tennis Association.
Right.
You know, we just co-sign the application, and their application is sent to us. Then we sign off on it, and we can go into the schools and help teach the curriculum with the teacher.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And once again, these courts out here at Forrest Hills are free.
Right.
I mean, do you have to, register a certain time you're going to play, or just come out and if they're open, you play?
Right. These are free and open to the public. And actually, we just worked with the Parks Department to implement nightly automatic lights, because sometimes at night you might not know where to turn on the lights, or you might accidentally do something wrong and turn them off, or so now they're automatically on every night from 7:30 to 10:30. I think something like that. We just published something on our Facebook page about this, and shared it with the entire Forrest Hills neighborhood community and on the city of Walterboro.
Truth be told, especially in the summertime when it starts getting hot, those nighttime being able to play later in the evening, I mean, that makes, that might make it a lot easier for a lot of people.
Yes, definitely waiting till the sun goes down makes it more tolerable in the summer. Also, early mornings are great.
Yep.
Just being out here with these birds chirping
beautiful.
is
absolutely. We've got a gorgeous day today.
Yes,
absolutely.
we do.
Very pretty. Now, you guys got a lot of stuff coming up. Now, tell me about this tennis tournament. It's going to be April the 26th. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, I'm going to mention one of our board members, so I think I want to shout out to all of our board members. Sure. Because I couldn't do this by myself. The support of the state has been immeasurable. They came down and talked with us and told us that this was feasible. Right. Just myself and Eileen Burke, who works for Enterprise Bank and does community outreach through them, and she serves as my treasurer. And Ladson Fishburne, who comes from a tennis family.
Oh, I know Ladson well.
And he's coach for the Carlton Prep girls tennis team. And then Dr. Trent Cannon, a retired physician from Walterboro, who still owns residence here and has a wealth of tennis coaching experience and just tennis experience, and still continues to actively play. And then the newest addition is, her name's Tamara McIntyre. She's actually new from, I believe, Colorado. And she was a tennis pro, played college tennis from a tennis family, and taught lessons out in Colorado, adults and children, and has children that she was coaching out here. We just, through networking connections, got connected, and she's serving on our board, and she's going to be implementing a lot of the programming that we have coming up. Also, but Dr. Cannon's pet project is the tennis tournament for the Rice Festival, because that has been going on for years. And it's mainly local round robin play, social play, not, we could have done a sanctioned tournament, but we really just want this to be, hey guys, we're back.
Right.
Come out and have some good food. We'll feed you. The Rice Festival has been very gracious in giving us some giveaway items. So, you know, we're going to have trophies and winners for men and women, all skill levels, high school and up, and it's only $5.
$5?
Yeah.
For the tournament. Wow, and a chance to win some pretty cool prizes.
Yeah.
Now, once again, that's going to be April 26th during the Rice Festival.
Right.
And when will it be going on as far as time-wise?
Well, all of the sports tournaments, there's going to be a golf tournament, there's going to be a softball tournament. I'm sure all of you, you'll hear from all of this from the Rice Festival, but they're going to be on Sunday afternoon. And some of them might be Saturday. Ours is just Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Until
it wraps up.
Yes, and it's going to be right here at Forrest Hills. We want you to sign up in advance for planning purposes. So we are, just to encourage advanced registration, going to charge you $10 if you don't sign up by a certain date.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and we're just taking cash or check for that on site on that day. So we have a QR code where you can go and just sign up on a Google Doc online, and we'll have your name and number, and we might shoot you a text if it's raining, you know, but otherwise it's pretty low maintenance.
Excellent, excellent. Well, guys, I mean, it really is the whole team you've put together, Michelle, with, you know, your group. Obviously, it sounds like you got a who's who when it comes to tennis.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the Colleton County High School girls coach is Kendra Hires, and he happens to also be the physical education teacher at Northside Elementary, and he is going to be the first elementary teacher to introduce our curriculum to his students. We already got him his equipment package, and we've scheduled for us to go in for 4 weeks, April and May, to teach the curriculum to his students. And Kendra is really a great example of tennis in Walterboro as well, because he played high school tennis for the Cougars here,
Right.
and then he went to Spartanburg Methodist and played there, as well as Limestone College. And now he plays in tournaments in Charleston, is killing it, still winning. And he has taken on the role of the high school girls coach, and we're hoping to partner with him this summer on summer camps, but we're going to talk about a few more events before we get there.
Well, you know, the good news is, I mean, it sounds like you got just a whole, this cadre of people that know tennis, love tennis, and a lot of them are experts at it. And I mean, what a great way to learn is from somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to teach.
Well, and part of my hesitation in launching this was not being sure that I could do it myself, but having all of this support has been really helpful.
Oh yeah, it's who you surround yourself with that really can make things. That's a fact. Now, I understand we've got a tennis month coming up.
Right. So, National Tennis Month is May, and as part of that, we get even more support from our state and national partners. They will sponsor events that we have to grow the sport of tennis, and these are all completely free events. And we wanted to have an event to reintroduce ourselves to the community. So we're going to have our courtside kickoff on May the 18th at this facility. And it's going to be a morning event from 9 to 11, maybe 12. Some of the details are still being worked out, but our purpose is just to have a free event with all equipment provided. Our state tennis association gave us a ton of adult rackets, some with wrappers on them, but all of them have brand new grips. And then we got a lot of, you know, junior rackets, tons of rackets. So, you know, even if you've never played tennis before, we're going to be playing red ball tennis.
Right.
Also other fun things.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have arts and crafts. We're going to have music. We're going to have other just fun relay games and such. Kind of like maybe an obstacle course, you know, and maybe even snow cones or some sort of refreshments, you know. Red ball is designed to have parents, children, everyone can play at the same time, leveling the playing field, having as many people on this court as possible. There's, you know, going to be 20, 30 on these courts.
Now, how does that work? I mean, because you know, when I used to play, sometimes you do doubles, but usually it's just 1 against 1 or
Right.
2 against 2. How do you have multiple people on?
We're going to have portable nets out here and kind of cut the courts in half vertically, and everyone will kind of rotate in a circle.
Like a round robin kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we even ask adults play with a junior racket or play with your left hand, just to make it fun for
Right.
everyone. We don't want anyone to feel intimidated. And if they come out to this event and they realize that they think they like it or their kids like it, then they can sign up for our summer camps or our youth league that we hope to start soon. And adults that are interested, previous players, current players, it's just a time for us to network and get back together.
The beauty of tennis is it can be 1-on-1, it could be 2-on-2. You can have groups together, and you can do it as long as you want, as little as you want, as hard as you want, and it can be some really good exercise as well.
Right. So another event that we're going to have along those lines during the month is cardio tennis. So our coach Tamara McIntyre that I mentioned earlier, she's very experienced in teaching this this lesson that's actually really popular nationwide. But also, we're really excited to have Diane and Jack Barker also, and they're going to come so we can offer that. It accommodates about 8 people. So with 3 coaches, we can accommodate 24 people.
But normal tennis, you can anyway, do a lot of physical stuff, a lot of running around, that sort of thing. Now, what makes cardio tennis different?
Well, it's gonna like a kind of an obstacle course, and it's regardless of skill level. I mean, they're just going to be throwing balls, and you just got to hit them and go to the next thing. So it's going to be constantly active, kind of like a circuit workout.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And we're offering that after hours. So that we can get maybe the working mom who wants to get some exercise, or a younger person who just wants to get out and get active. Males, females, there's no real limitations on that one. But I will say the events that we're having during National Tennis Month do require registration on Serve Tennis, which is our tennis platform software. And the reason for this is that's how we're maintaining our funding. As we're a nonprofit, and we want to offer these programs free of charge or at little to no cost. And in order to do that, we've got to keep track of how we're growing the sport of tennis.
Makes perfect sense. Now, once again, when you're doing this cardio tennis, do you have to pre-register for that as well, or is it a certain time you just come out?
Right. So we are requiring registration for our courtside kickoff as well as our cardio tennis. And again, the reason is so that we can reach back out to you with our future programming, but also so that the state can see that our organization is helping to grow the sport of tennis.
I think you were saying there's specific days when you're doing it and times for cardio tennis?
Right. So that's going to be Thursday, May the 28th. We're thinking 6 to 7 p.m., but check our Facebook and our website and we'll have everything up for you.
Okay.
We've also going to have QR codes where it's easy for you to go straight to the site. Our website is playtennis.usta.com/Walterboro.
Say it one more time.
playtennis.usta.com/Walterboro.
Got it.
But it is, it's not owned by us, so I was trying to get Google to crawl our website. I couldn't quite get all of that perfectly. So if you can't have trouble finding it, just go to our Facebook page, and it has a link right to the website.
And your Facebook page is exactly what?
It's facebook.com/Walterboro Tennis Association.
Okay, all right.
And we'll be updating it regularly and getting these programs sent out via email to elementary school parents, things like that. But it's easy to find us. We already have 100 followers on Facebook. We just started it about a month ago.
That's fantastic.
So if we feel that we need to do more outreach to get these events out in front of people, we will. But I did survey parents of elementary school students last year, and we got 94 responses. So in the youth vein, I feel like we're good. So each of these are kind of designed to reach a certain audience, but the whole point is diversity and inclusion as well. We want to make sure that it's open to everyone.
and maybe get people back into tennis that used to do it and kind of got away from it, or people that have never been in it at all. And I love what you're doing. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, we're talking to Michelle Strickland, and we're talking about everything tennis and around the area, and we appreciate what she's doing. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with PRTC's Community Calendar. Stay with us. Once again, welcome back to PRTC's Community Calendar. Michelle Strickland, we used to work together for years with PRTC, and now you're doing some really some great public service when it comes to tennis, families, kids, everybody. You know, we're out here at the tennis courts over in Forrest Hills, which are absolutely beautiful. I mean, fantastic. Way nicer than it was when I was young playing over here. But the truth is, you know, sometimes people want to go to different locations. Is there another location where there's free tennis like this other than just Forest Hills? Where else are they available?
Well, that's another thing we're going to work on. So there are some tennis courts in the community right now that are in disrepair.
Right.
Well, we have access to resources to fix the courts. We have access to resources to build new courts. So for example, here at this tennis court, we're going to be working to pay 50% of the windscreens that need to be replaced. Yeah. So that's just a small cost, a small thing that we can do to help. But I mean, every little bit helps. And the more we can partner with municipalities to do this, we would love to. So any municipality that's interested in getting some courts fixed, for example, I have a call later today with the Director of Parks and Recreation for Colleton County, Aaron Bishop, and Cheryl McAllister from the state who helps us there to talk about the courts that are at the rec center and the courts that are at Dogwood Hills Golf Course, which the county owns, to get those fixed up and whatever they may need. They may need resurfacing. Also, you know, shout out to Low Country Tennis Association, of which Walterboro is in their region, for helping to get these courts resurfaced in 2024.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely beautiful. They look brand new. Everything here is just like state of the art.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a great place to come bring the whole family.
Yeah.
And if you used to play tennis and you've gotten away from it and you want to just see what it's like, you ought to come out here. It really is nice. And if you've never tried it, I mean, we were just talking, the beauty of it is it just takes you and a partner. That's all.
Right.
You know, so you've got, you were going to mention something else. I think you've got something else coming up, like...
Well, you know, the goal is to get adult and youth leagues started, but in order to do that, we need to determine that there's enough participation. So, you know, we're introducing the sport at the courtside kickoff during National Tennis Month. That's the event we want everyone to come out to and sign up for interest levels, whether you're interested in adult league or youth league. And then also we're having a summer camp, and we've identified those dates as the first week in June, but we're still waiting on some of our partners to confirm some things. For example, because of the heat, we may want to partner with the rec center so that we can go and get out of the heat and use their air-conditioned facilities for a couple days. And the more collaboration we can have, the better. Kidre Hires, the high school coach, has interest in teaching middle school age children to feed into his program at the high school. And then we have resources to teach the younger kids. So, you know, we want to make it available for everybody. So the first event is our Rice Festival tournament. That's, you know, our effort to get the existing tennis community out here. But of course, it's open to everyone.
Right. And that's going to be April 26th.
Right. April 26th, 1 p.m. Try to sign in advance online. But if you can't show up the day of, that's fine. It's $5 in advance, $10 the day of. And then our free programming during the month of May will be the courtside kickoff on May the 16th, and then the cardio tennis event, and that both require pre-registration, but they're free, and that's on May 28th in the evening.
They all sound like a lot of fun, but that cardio tennis, where you got all kinds of things going on at once, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yes, just make sure you stretch beforehand.
Yeah, stretching always important. Always important.
But I mean, the sky's the limit with this group. I feel confident that the community needs this. So I hope that everyone will come out and support it, because we can't, if we don't have enough kids to do youth league in the fall, then we won't be able to. You know, so and the same with adult league. So I know there's opportunities to play in the day and the night for adults. So let's make it happen.
Once again, Michelle, it's always great to see you. I appreciate what you're doing, taking the reins, and once again getting the Walterboro Tennis Association going again. And obviously, you've surrounded yourself with some really heavy hitters. And so I just see nothing but good things when it comes to tennis in Walterboro and Colleton County.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you
Take
too.
care.
Have
Once
a good
again,
day.
we've been talking to Michelle Strickland. It's all about tennis. If you've never tried, you never wanted to play, or maybe you just say, you know what? Let's get out there and see what it's all about. Got a lot of things going on. The tournament, once again, during Rice Festival, that'll be April the 26th, and then the courtside kickoff, May the 16th. For Michelle, for Jason Cook, I'm Miles Crosby. Thank you for watching PRTC's Community Calendar. See you again soon.